They never told you that the universe speaks, not with words, not with a voice you can hear, but with signs, with whispers, with patterns. And maybe you've noticed the clock strikes 1:11. Again, the receipt shows 3:33, a license plate 777, over and over. At first, you shrug. Coincidence, you tell yourself, a trick of the mind, a meaningless pattern. But something inside you wonders. Because deep down, it doesn't feel random. It feels deliberate. You feel a shiver when you see it, a quiet knowing, a sense that someone or something is trying to reach you. And you're right, because angel numbers are not mistakes. They are messages, guidance from the unseen, from your higher self, from something greater. The ancients knew this. They spoke of sacred numbers, of the language of the cosmos, of patterns embedded into everything. Numbers that carry vibration, meaning, light. But somewhere, we stopped listening. We called it chance. We called it nothing. And we forgot that numbers are alive, that they are portals, that they are how the divine leaves breadcrumbs for your soul to follow. And maybe you've been following without realizing it, because the more you see them, the more you start to notice how perfectly they appear, how they seem to find you, just when you're questioning, just when you're doubting, just when you need the reminder that you're not lost, that you're not alone, that you're on the path, even if it doesn't feel like it yet. You see, 1:11 is not just a number, it's an opening, a doorway, the universe whispering, "Stay awake, you are manifesting." 3:33 is not just repetition, it's alignment, balance of body, mind, and spirit. The universe saying, you are supported. 777 is not luck. It's a sign of deep knowing that your soul's wisdom is leading you, that miracles are closer than you think. These numbers are not here to confuse you. They're here to guide you, like quiet signals in the noise, like gentle hands steering you back every time you stray. And maybe that's why you keep seeing them now, because your soul is ready to remember, ready to listen, ready to trust what it already knows, because the universe has always been speaking to you. The question is, are you ready to hear it? The more you notice them, the more you begin to feel. They're not just signs, they're conversations between you and something bigger, between your human self and your higher self, between the seen and the unseen. Because each number is more than just a message. It's a frequency, a vibration you are already aligned with. Even if you don't yet understand how, you see, numbers have always carried meaning, long before clocks, long before calendars. In sacred geometry, the universe reveals itself through numbers, in the patterns of nature, in the spiral of a shell, in the rhythm of your own heartbeat. You see the code, the language of the divine. And when you start seeing angel numbers, it means you are tuning in to that frequency, to that language. You are waking up, you are remembering that nothing is random, that everything is connected, that even the smallest detail carries intention. When you see 1:11, it's not just the universe speaking, it's your own soul signaling to you that your thoughts are seeds, and they're already beginning to take root. When you see 333, it's a reminder that you don't walk alone, that your guides, your ancestors, your angels are closer than you think. When you see 777, it's a confirmation that you're in sync, that you're aligned with your highest path, even if the steps ahead are still invisible. And the more you trust these numbers, the more you allow yourself to feel them, the more clear the path becomes. Because angel numbers are not just about the future, they're about the now. They call you back to this moment, to presence, to faith. They ask you to pause, to breathe, to listen, to stop doubting what you already feel inside, because deep down, you already know. You always have, and maybe that's why they keep appearing, because your soul is ready for the next step. Even if you're not sure what that step looks like yet, you don't have to figure it all out now. You don't have to see the whole path. You just have to trust that these numbers are here for a reason, and that reason is waiting for you to notice it. At first, it feels strange to trust them. These numbers, these patterns, these whispers from nowhere and everywhere. You catch yourself wondering, is this real or just my imagination? But then they keep showing up at just the right moment, in just the right way, and something inside you begins to believe. Because the more you doubt, the more lost you feel. The more you listen, the more the path unfolds. It's not about logic, it never was. The language of the soul isn't always meant to make sense to the mind. It's meant to make you feel, to make you remember that you are not random, that you are not forgotten, that someone, something has been guiding you all along. And when you trust the signs, your energy shifts, your choices shift, your life shifts, because you start showing up differently. You stop forcing, you start flowing, you stop asking why me, and start asking, what is this teaching me? You see, angel numbers are not answers. They are invitations to look deeper, to listen closer, to come back to yourself. And maybe that's why you're here now, still listening, still feeling that quiet pull, because your soul already knows, even if you've forgotten. And if something inside you feels this, if you've been seeing these numbers and wondering if it means something, it does. And you are not alone in this. Others are walking this path too. Others are learning to trust again. So if this resonates, leave a comment below. Share your story, your numbers, your signs. You never know who might need to see your words tonight, who might feel less alone because of you. And maybe that's part of the message too. At some point, it stops being about noticing the numbers. It becomes about living by them. Because once you begin to trust, once you begin to listen, you can't go back. You start to feel it in your choices, in your conversations, in your quiet moments. The signs don't just appear on clocks anymore. They appear in people, in words you overhear, in doors that open and others that close, and you realize this has never been about the numbers. The numbers were just the beginning, a way to wake you up, a way to remind you that you are already connected to something bigger, to your own soul, to the quiet intelligence weaving this life together. And the more you trust that connection, the more you feel it guiding you. You stop fighting the current. You start flowing with it. You stop needing everything to happen now, and you start noticing how perfectly everything unfolds in its time, even the hard parts, even the waiting, even the silence. Because now you know, even the silence is a message, even the no is a sign, and you stop asking, when will it happen, and start asking, what is this moment teaching me? How can I show up fully here? Because when you live like this, life becomes softer, more meaningful, more alive. You find yourself feeling gratitude for things you never noticed before, for the stranger who smiled, for the breeze on your skin, for the number on the street light that told you you're still on the path. And maybe that's what it's really about. Not getting the answers, but learning to walk the path with trust, with wonder, with presence. Because the signs aren't just showing you the way forward, they're showing you how to be on the way. And maybe that's enough. To know you are held, to know you are seen, to know you are exactly where you're meant to be, even now, even here, even in this breath. There comes a moment when you realize these numbers aren't just guiding you, they're reflecting you. Because before you came here, before you took this body, your soul made a quiet agreement, an agreement that when the time was right, when the forgetting became too heavy, when the path felt too dark, you would be reminded, you would be shown, you would be called back. And this is the call. Every time you see them, 111, 333, 777, it's not just a sign, it's a memory. Your soul remembering its own promise, its own light, its own knowing. Because deep down, you already know where you're going. You already know why you're here. You just needed something to help you feel it again. That's why the numbers appear when they do. When you're questioning everything, when you're about to give up, when you're standing at a crossroads, and you whisper quietly, "Show me a sign." And the sign always comes. Because your soul never stopped listening, even when your mind forgot. And the more you honor this agreement, the stronger it becomes. The clearer the signs appear, the softer the path feels. You stop chasing, you start aligning, you stop doubting, you start trusting, and you begin to live differently. You make choices that feel lighter. You walk into rooms with more presence. You speak your truth, even when your voice shakes, because you know you are guided, you are loved, you are exactly where you're meant to be. And maybe that's why you're still here, still listening, still feeling that quiet yes in your chest, because your soul remembers, and it's asking you now to remember too, that you were never forgotten, that you were never alone, that you are already on the path. And these numbers are simply here to remind you, over and over, until you believe it for yourself. At some point, you stop asking why you keep seeing them, why they keep finding you, why they appear just when you need them most. Because now, you know, the numbers were never random, they were never noise, they were always a language, the language of your soul, speaking through the fabric of life. You realize they're not just messages, they're invitations, inviting you to slow down, to trust, to remember who you are. And the more you accept that invitation, the more your life begins to soften. You no longer rush past the moments. You no longer silence the quiet whispers. You no longer ignore the beauty in the ordinary, because you see it now, everywhere, in the time on the clock, in the price on the receipt, in the number on the door, and you smile. Because you know what it means. It means you're awake. It means you're listening. It means you've come home. Home to yourself. Home to the truth you've always carried. Home to the knowing that you were never lost. And maybe that's all the numbers ever wanted to tell you. That you are seen, you are guided, you are loved. Even in your confusion, even in your silence, even in your doubts, you've always been exactly where you're meant to be. And now, if this journey spoke to something inside you, if these words felt like the signs you've been waiting for, don't let it end here. Leave a comment below. Share what numbers keep finding you. Let someone else reading know they're not alone either. And if this message felt like home, if you're ready to keep walking this path, subscribe, not just for more videos, but to keep remembering that we're all following the same signs, that we're all finding our way together.